The story begins with Young Soon Gol, a man who has mysophobia, which means he is extremely afraid of germs and dirt. He is a neat freak and always keeps himself and his house very clean. He also runs a company that cleans people's properties. One day, Soon Gol goes on a first date with a beautiful and successful woman. But things get awkward when he notices her ears are not clean, and he gets so upset that he leaves the date. His parents, especially his mom, are angry with him for canceling the date. His mom thinks he should be running his grandfather's company instead of being obsessed with cleaning. Meanwhile, Soon Gol's cleaning robot sneaks out of his house without him knowing. He panics and tries to find it because it is a special gift from someone important to him. On the other side, Gil Oh-sol is a lively and independent young woman. She lives with her dad and younger sibling in a simple house. After graduating from college, Oh-sol struggles to find a job because she does not take good care of herself, and many places reject her. To keep busy, she works as a server at a cafe. One night, she finds Soon Gol's cleaning robot in the trash and thinks it might still work, so she takes it home. Soon Gol is desperately looking for his robot, and he checks the security cameras around the apartment complex, spotting a girl who found his robot. When Oh-sol gets home, she is shocked to see a stranger coming out of her bathroom. There is confusion because Oh-sol does not realize this guy is a tenant in her house. Things get more chaotic when Oh-sol's dad gets hurt and has to go to the clinic, so she takes over his job for the day, which is collecting garbage. While collecting garbage, Oh-sol accidentally bumps into a guy she has a crush on, Do-jin. She tries to avoid him by wearing a horse mask to hide. Many people see this funny incident, record it, and upload it on social media. Meanwhile, Soon Gol gets a call from Oh-sol's little brother, telling him he found the robot. But then, Soon Gol's car gets hit by Oh-sol's cart, and he is very angry because his car is damaged and dirty. He wants her to pay for it. He takes off Oh-sol's horse mask, revealing who she is. Even Do-jin is surprised to learn that his college friend works as a garbage collector. After this, Oh-sol decides to change her appearance. She and her friend Ju-yeon go to a reunion party where Do-jin is also present. She dresses up nicely and starts to feel that maybe Do-jin likes her because he sees her as a caring person, especially since she helped with her dad's job. The next day, Soon Gol asked Secretary Gwon to buy a new car for him. He also wanted to know if they had found his cleaning robot, which had sentimental value because it was a gift from his caregiver. Suddenly, he remembered that the girl who crashed into him was the one who had taken his robot. Soon Gol demanded a lot of money as compensation, which surprised Oh-sol. Since she didn't have a job, she asked for some understanding and offered to return the cleaning robot she had found in exchange. Later, Oh-sol met with Do-jin because he needed her help. Do-jin wanted Oh-sol to promote a product from his agency to boost sales in the office where he worked. He was taking advantage of Oh-sol's popularity since she became famous on social media for the horse mask incident. Do-jin planned to do the same thing for a stomach slimming product. But then, Oh-sol realized Do-jin was just using her to make money. Soon Gol saw this and was disappointed in Oh-sol. Oh-sol then approached him to return the robot and promised to pay the rest of the compensation next month. While riding the elevator with Do-jin, Soon Gol found out that Do-jin was dating multiple women at the same time. This disgusted Soon Gol, and he sprayed some cleaning solution in Do-jin's direction to show his disapproval. Meanwhile, Oh-sol received good news when she got an interview invitation from a major company. She celebrated with her family, including Ju-yeon and a tenant named Hyun. They were hopeful that Oh-sol would get a job at this prestigious company. The next day, Oh-sol realized that she had a lot of competition during the interview process. The interview panel even tested her English skills, which she found challenging. Unfortunately, Oh-sol didn't make it past the first round, leaving her feeling frustrated but determined to keep looking for a job by attending interviews at different companies. Meanwhile, Oh-sol's younger brother, Oh-dol, was hanging out with his friends, practicing taekwondo. But things got messy when Oh-dol and his friend Young-sik got into a brawl with two janitors over a girl. They ended up getting taken to the police station for questioning. Soon Gol then came to the police station because he was the boss of those janitors. Oh-sol also showed up to pick up her brother. When Soon Gol saw her, he remembered that she owed him some money. Soon Gol was thinking about firing one of his employees, Dong-yoon, especially because he found out that the guy had a criminal record. But Secretary Gwon begged him to reconsider because Dong-yoon had been a great worker for a long time. On the other hand, Oh-sol's dad unexpectedly lost his job because his company went bankrupt. He was drowning his sorrows in soju at a local bar. When Oh-sol saw her dad looking sad, she couldn't help but suspect that he was hiding something. The next day, Soon Gol had to attend his grandfather CEO Cha's birthday party. The dinner was very tense. Soon Gol didn't like his grandfather because he always meddled in his life. CEO Cha brought up Soon Gol's illness, which made him very angry. So, he stormed out of the party with a fork scratch on his face, thanks to his grandfather's temper. This situation made Soon Gol think about his caregiver, who had passed away. She was the one he leaned on, especially since his mom had left when he was little, and he never knew where his dad was. On the same day, Oh-Sol got some bad news. The company she really wanted to work for turned her down, and her shoe got wrecked, like a bad omen. So, she went to a bar to drink away her sorrows and, by chance, met Soon Gol when she was buying snacks. Because she was so drunk, she thought Soon Gol was following her to demand money. But in reality, Soon Gol just wanted to be left alone. Still, Oh-Sol kept talking about her tough life. When Soon Gol saw her going home barefoot, he felt sorry for her and gave her his sandals. Concerned for her safety, the tenant offered to carry her home. The next day, Oh-Sol remembered running into Soon Gol the night before. She was working hard at a cafe to pay off her debts, but it wasn't enough. On her way to work, she saw her dad protesting at his old job. This surprised Oh-Sol, and she decided to apply for any job she could find, even if it meant being a janitor. She secretly applied and, by chance, ran into Young-sik, who was friends with Oh-Dol. Lucky for her, she passed the physical tests easily because Young-sik used to be a high-jump athlete. She asked him to keep her new job a secret from her family. Fortunately, she got hired and was set to meet her supervisor. But Oh-Sol and Soon Gol ended up bumping into each other again by pure chance. Soon Gol wasn't happy to see Oh-Sol on her first day of work because she was causing some trouble and even almost had an accident with the cleaning machine during orientation. After work, Oh-Sol talked to Juyeon about Soon Gol, who had a strange habit of washing his hands a lot. Meanwhile, Soon Gol had his own ideas about Oh-Sol's cleanliness, especially her hair. Oh-Sol couldn't understand why Soon Gol, out of all people, had to be the boss at her workplace. On her second day of work, Oh-Sol still hadn't told her family where she was working. She didn't want to let her dad down because he had high hopes for her getting an office job. But her brother, Oh-Dol, already knew that Young-sik worked for a cleaning company. That day at work, Oh-Sol got along with her co-workers, Dong-yoon and Jae-min. They had to clean a very dirty restroom. Unfortunately, one of the staff members treated her poorly, ordering her to clean up spilled coffee. Suddenly, Soon Gol and Secretary Gwon showed up to stand up for her. Soon Gol didn't want Oh-Sol's confidence to be crushed, even though she was part of the cleaning team. And, they were cleaning an area that wasn't even in their contract. Oh-Sol was surprised at how much her boss cared. By the end of the day, Oh-Sol was completely worn out, and Han approached her. She was curious about what Han did because he seemed to know a lot about things, even though he didn't seem to have a job. The next day, Oh-Sol overslept and didn't have time to shower before going to work. She quickly washed her face and put on some hair fragrance. When she arrived at the office, Soon Gol didn't like what he saw, especially with food crumbs near her mouth. Secretary Gwon finally realized that the girl Soon Gol wanted to avoid was Oh-Sol. Just then, Juyeon called Oh-Sol to talk about Do-jin, who had just broken up with his girlfriend. Hearing his name annoyed Oh-Sol, and she didn't want to talk about it. But then, Do-jin messaged her and invited her to meet up. Meanwhile, Juyeon was cheering on Oh-Dol at his taekwondo match. That day, the company had a welcome event for new employees. Soon Gol noticed that Oh-Sol wanted to sit next to him, so he tried to come up with excuses to make her sit far away. One night, Oh-Sol drank too much and ended up babbling in front of a restaurant after her friends had left. Soon Gol tried calling his secretary to help get Oh-Sol home, but couldn't reach him. Soon Gol didn't want to deal with Oh-Sol, but he couldn't stand seeing two guys trying to take advantage of her. So, he decided to take her home, covering the passenger seat with plastic bags. When they got close to Oh-Sol's house, they ran into Do-jin, who also wanted to take Oh-Sol home. Soon Gol was doubtful, especially since Oh-Sol had already turned down Do-jin's offer. Finally, Oh-Dol and Han stepped in after seeing Oh-Sol becoming the center of attention. The next day, Oh-Sol remembered what happened the night before when her boss gave her a ride home. Her dad felt proud because his daughter was getting attention from a guy. On the other hand, Soon Gol was trying to calm down after Oh-Sol brought germs into his car and onto himself. The day after that, Soon Gol's mom, Mei-hwa, showed up at his office. She introduced an investor to help Soon Gol with his company, but he refused because he thought the guy might be his mom's new boyfriend. Mei-hwa apologized and tried to convince Soon Gol, admitting that she had been away for a long time. Oh-Sol was listening outside the room, and it seemed like a tense conversation. Soon Gol still vividly remembered why he developed mysophobia. It was because his mom promised to come back if he took better care of himself. One evening, Do-jin asked Do-sol out for dinner. It seemed like he wanted to get closer to her, but she was already disappointed and told him that she didn't have feelings for him anymore. On the way back from dinner, Do-sol bumped into Soon Gol by chance. Her words at that moment bothered him because he felt she was getting involved in his family matters. Do-sol was just suggesting that Soon Gol should pay more attention to his mom, who wouldn't be around forever. Still upset about Do-sol rejecting him the night before, Do-jin made fun of her job when they met at the city park. He teased her, saying she wouldn't find a handsome man with that job. When Do-sol saw Soon Gol coming, she wanted to ask for his help to pretend to be her boyfriend. But before he could respond, she surprised him with a kiss on the lips. Soon Gol freaked out, thinking his body had been contaminated by germs and needed to go to the hospital. A little while later, Soon Gol woke up and immediately threw up, remembering that kiss with Do-sol. He told Secretary Gwon that he went into shock because he thought his lips got contaminated with bird droppings. Do-sol felt really guilty and didn't expect things to blow up like this. She wanted to visit Soon Gol in the hospital's VIP room, where he was being treated, but he sent her away. He felt uncomfortable being near her and was mad about getting dragged into her romantic stuff, even though it was just a kiss. So, Do-sol talked to Ju-yeon about Soon Gol's dramatic words, like calling her a germ factory because of the kiss. Soon Gol was furious after his first kiss with Do-sol because he thought it messed up the cleanliness of his mouth that he had taken care of for years. Meanwhile, Do-sol went to pick up her dad when he was protesting at his old workplace. Her dad's words made her feel guilty because he had worked so hard to give her a better life, but she hadn't made him proud yet. She then promised to make enough money so her dad wouldn't have to work anymore. On the other hand, Young-sik and Jae-min were still not getting along, even though they were on the same team. They had clashed a while ago, but Young-sik didn't give up. He tried to make peace and become friends with Jae-min. At the office, Soon Gol was feeling annoyed because he kept seeing Do-sol everywhere. One day, he saw his employees playing with water in the park next to the office, and it actually made him smile a bit. He noticed Do-sol's cheerful smile for a moment, but he still felt awkward around Secretary Gwon. To make things worse, Do-sol accidentally sprayed liquid in Soon Gol's direction, and it really angered him. Not long after, Secretary Gwon met with Mae-wa to talk about Soon Gol's condition. He had been admitted to the hospital because he brushed his teeth too much and had gum irritation. They decided to introduce Soon Gol to a psychiatrist who learned from an American professor. Now, let's switch to Do-sol. She had a guy who looked like a doctor visit her home, but it turned out he came for counseling because Ha-in was a psychiatrist himself. Do-sol didn't know that, so she thought he needed counseling. Ha-in kept his profession a secret from Do-sol's family, for reasons yet unknown. Secretary Gwon was worried about Soon Gol's increased sensitivity, and she suggested that he see Dr. Daniel, leaving the doctor's phone number on his desk. Soon Gol eventually contacted the doctor, who turned out to be Ha-in. Ha-in said that the physical contact trauma experienced by mysophobia patients would go away in the next 4 weeks. The next day was the anniversary of Do-sol's mother's death, and she always acted a bit differently on that day. She cleaned the whole house and dressed up nicely to make sure her mom's spirit was at peace, showing that Do-sol could handle things. Her fancy makeup surprised her friends and Soon Gol at the office. Soon Gol suspected that after work, Do-sol might be going on a blind date. That day, they had to clean the house of a guy who collected action figures. He asked them to be careful because the items were very rare and expensive. But in a rush, one of the workers accidentally knocked over his collection without realizing it, and Do-sol got blamed. The truth was, Do-sol's foot got hurt when she stepped on one of the items that was already damaged. When Soon Gol found out, he called the 4 employees and asked for an explanation. He ended up firing Do-sol, thinking she wasn't good at her job. Sometime later, Do-sol went to visit her mother's ashes storage place. She was feeling down because she got fired due to a misunderstanding. Do-sol shared her troubles with her late mom and left a bouquet of flowers. Then, she noticed a yogurt drink nearby and started looking for the person who left it there. After a while, Do-sol couldn't find the person, so she headed back home. On the way, she sat on some stairs and thought about things. That's when Ha-in came along to keep her company. Drinking the yogurt helped Do-sol feel better. It reminded her of how her mom used to give her the same drink when she was sad. As they were heading home, they bumped into Soon Gol, who wanted to say sorry. He felt bad about how he had treated Do-sol and asked her to come back to work to fix all the mess that had happened. The next day, Soon Gol called the guy who owned the action figures to come to the office. They made an agreement, and Soon Gol told the men to apologize directly to Do-sol for wrongly accusing her. Right then, Soon Gol and Secretary Gwon came to talk to Oh-sol. This caught her off guard, and she ended up falling down the stairs. Soon Gol quickly saved her, surprising everyone because he had mysophobia and usually didn't touch people. He remembered his doctor saying he could be cured if he fell in love. After this, Soon Gol's hand was bandaged, and he called his doctor for more answers about his condition. Dr. Daniel recommended testing by touching objects belonging to others. Soon Gol went to the office kitchen to try it but failed a few times. Just when he was about to touch a glass that belonged to Oh-sol, some coworkers showed up to take a break. After work, Oh-sol's dad asked her to take some food to Ha-in. While they shared some soju, they finally opened up to each other and promised to have each other's backs. Ha-in had a secret crush on a cheerful and lovely girl. After Oh-sol left, Ha-in remembered the girl who gave him yogurt while he was on a work break. That girl was Oh-sol, who had visited her mother's workplace. Since then, Oh-sol had a special place in Ha-in's heart. Meanwhile, Soon Gol was looking at Oh-sol's glass that he had brought home and thinking about how his condition seemed to get better when he was near her or her stuff. Soon Gol tried to distract himself by watching TV, but it only made it harder for him to sleep. It seemed like he was starting to develop feelings for her. The next day, Soon Gol wanted to talk to Secretary Gwon, but he ended up overhearing Oh-sol confessing that she liked him. When he got home, Oh-sol's confession kept replaying in his mind. His heart was racing, and he couldn't focus on anything else. Suddenly, Oh-sol surprised him by trying to give him homemade soup. Instead of taking the soup, Soon Gol confessed his feelings to her. They both felt awkward, and Soon Gol eventually took back his words. It was the first time he let someone into his super clean home, and they spent time getting to know each other better. Before leaving, Oh-sol wanted to clean the glass she had used, but Soon Gol stopped her. He didn't want her to know that her glass was at his place. Then, one day, Soon Gol changed his hairstyle after getting compliments from Oh-sol. Secretary Gwon felt that something was off about her boss's transformation. One time, Oh-sol had to clean a place that was on the company's blacklist. Soon Gol panicked when he found out that Oh-sol was sent alone to a dangerous location. He rushed to rescue her and even took off his bandage to drive more freely. When they got there, Soon Gol confronted the troublemaker and got Oh-sol out of there. He had an injured hand, so Oh-sol tried to give him first aid. But in a surprising twist, Soon Gol held Oh-sol's hand and kissed her, and Dr. Daniel saw it happen from afar. The next day, Oh-sol went through a bit of a transformation. She started taking better care of herself, showering and washing her hair every day. She even began dressing up before going to work and touching up her makeup during breaks in the restroom. One day, she overheard female co-workers talking about the incident where Soon Gol caught a culprit. To her surprise, they were actually talking about her. While Soon Gol was checking on the work, he noticed Oh-sol with Jae-min. Jae-min was teasing her and even kissed her head to smell her hair. This made Soon Gol pretty upset and a bit jealous. He scolded them for what seemed like no reason, and Jae-min got suspicious. Oh-sol blushed and felt self-conscious under her boss's gaze. Then, one day, Soon Gol went to visit CEO Cha, who wanted him to find a girlfriend. But Soon Gol hadn't really thought about it yet. He was also frustrated with his mother, who kept changing her boyfriend. While Soon Gol was feeling annoyed, he ran into Oh-sol. She was still wondering why Soon Gol had kissed her the other day and hadn't explained himself since then. She felt like he was playing with her emotions. Soon Gol apologized for his behavior and made it clear he wasn't interested in a romantic relationship with her. After hearing Soon Gol's confession, Oh-sol sat down and started drinking soju to ease her sadness. Ha-in, also known as Daniel, came to keep her company. Oh-sol vented her frustration about Soon Gol's actions and tried to stay positive. She changed the subject by asking about Daniel's progress with the girl he liked, but he stayed quiet, waiting for the right moment. The next day, Oh-sol ran into Soon Gol and Secretary Gwon. Secretary Gwon noticed that Oh-sol seemed different and suspected something was going on between them. During a company meeting, Soon Gol couldn't stop thinking about Oh-sol. Oh-sol confided in her friend Ju-yeon, telling her how Soon Gol had been inconsiderate after playing with her feelings. Soon Gol overheard Oh-sol's words as he was nearby. Meanwhile, Young-sik invited Oh-dol to meet up and shared how he was sad about being rejected by a girl. In the process, he accidentally revealed Oh-sol's job. This made Oh-dol rush to see his sister at work, and Young-sik felt guilty for causing a rift between the siblings. Oh-sol asked Oh-dol to keep her job a secret from their father because she didn't want to make him sad by revealing she was working as a janitor. To make up for it, Oh-sol invited Oh-dol and Young-sik for a meal. However, Oh-dol couldn't hide his disappointment and pity for his hard-working sister. Despite this, Oh-sol admitted that she loved and enjoyed her job. Meanwhile, Secretary Gwon met with CEO Cha. She reported on Soon Gol's condition, saying it was improving because of a girl. CEO Cha became curious about Oh-sol after hearing this. On the other hand, Soon Gol called Dr. Daniel to talk about his problems. He hadn't noticed his air purifier malfunctioning because he was too busy thinking about Oh-sol calling him rude. Daniel provided advice to Soon Gol, suspecting that the girl was special to him, even though Soon Gol couldn't admit it himself. The next day, Oh-sol bumped into Daniel on his way to work. She thought he wanted to go on a date and encouraged him. But during their outing, they ran into Soon Gol, who asked Oh-sol about the insult she had thrown at him. Oh-sol's response made Soon Gol feel guilty, as she didn't want to be treated poorly by an irresponsible man. Soon Gol didn't want to share all his problems with Secretary Gwon, but he also didn't want her to know his current condition. He pretended he was talking about a friend's experience, but Gwon saw through his lie and encouraged him to acknowledge his feelings. On the other hand, Ju-yeon invited Oh-sol to her campus to reveal that the tenant in her house, whom she thought was unemployed, was actually a doctor. Meanwhile, Soon Gol decided to follow Gwon's advice and tried to meet Oh-sol on campus, but he failed when he saw her with Daniel, who wanted to confess his feelings to her. Daniel took Oh-sol out for dinner, which Soon Gol observed, feeling disappointed in himself. Oh-sol still couldn't believe that Daniel was a psychiatrist who liked her as an ordinary girl. But Daniel assured her that her background didn't matter to him. To Oh-sol, Daniel was still the person who lived in her attic. She didn't want to feel self-conscious around him. After learning that Daniel had confessed his feelings to Oh-sol, Soon Gol decided not to continue his counseling sessions with him. He sensed something different about Daniel and remembered that Daniel was the neighbor who was near Oh-sol when she was drunk. Soon Gol wanted to confirm Daniel's identity with Gwon. She assured him that Daniel was the best psychiatrist recommended by the American doctor who had treated Soon Gol before. Soon Gol became increasingly frustrated as he witnessed the growing closeness between Oh-sol and Daniel. To vent his frustration, he made Oh-sol attend cleanliness training every day. One day, Oh-sol got a call from Secretary Gwon asking for help to be a temporary secretary. Soon Gol was surprised to see Oh-sol in his office, working as his secretary. She followed Soon Gol for a whole day. Soon Gol realized he needed to go slower and give Oh-sol time to adjust. So, he slowed down and let Oh-sol work closely with him. In an elevator, a mosquito caused Oh-sol to slip and fall into Soon Gol's arms. An employee saw them in this awkward position. Oh-sol felt embarrassed and tried to explain what had happened to avoid misunderstandings. They were at an airport, and Soon Gol was supposed to meet clients, but he had trauma related to airports. Oh-sol helped protect him from the crowds by opening an umbrella to create a barrier. Soon Gol felt calm knowing that Oh-sol was taking care of him. Secretary Gwon and Soon Gol's grandfather saw Oh-sol helping Soon Gol with his airport trauma. Oh-sol felt relieved when Soon Gol successfully finished his meeting, and she noticed his mood had improved. On their way back, Soon Gol saw that Oh-sol was uncomfortable in her shoes, so he kindly gave her a pair of comfortable shoes. Later, Soon Gol arrived near Oh-sol's house, but she had already fallen asleep. He looked at her for a moment and ended up falling asleep too. When they woke up, they were surprised to find themselves both asleep in the car. When they got to her house, Oh-sol had an argument with her father, who had found out she was working as a janitor and insisted she quit her job. The next day, Soon Gol heard that Oh-sol was sick and couldn't come to work. He felt guilty for making her work late the night before. Soon Gol went to visit Oh-sol at her house and ran into her outside. Oh-sol told him about the argument she had with her father about her job. Later, Soon Gol met with Oh-sol's father to convince him to let her keep her job. After a lot of persuasion, Oh-sol's father agreed to let her continue working. Soon Gol reassured Oh-sol that he would do everything to keep her at the company because he didn't want her to leave. Oh-sol's father, unable to sleep, invited her to drink soju together and talked about his desire for her to find a different job. Oh-sol hadn't thought about finding a new job because she liked her current one, even though it wasn't highly regarded. Her father couldn't do much after hearing her reasons. At her workplace, Oh-sol's friends heard the news of her returning to the company and organized a welcome party for her. Soon Gol was also happy to hear about her return. After leaving the office, Oh-sol planned to have soju with her friends at a barbecue place. Soon Gol stayed late at the office because he wanted to give Oh-sol a ride. When Gwon saw Soon Gol at the office, she immediately told him where Oh-sol was. Not long after, Soon Gol showed up at the barbecue place where Oh-sol and her colleagues were hanging out. At first, he watched from a distance and didn't plan to join them. But, dressed in unusual clothes, he decided to join Oh-Sol and her co-workers. Soon Sol's presence made things a bit awkward. After they finished their drinks, Sol wanted to give Oh-Sol a ride home, but his car got towed because he parked illegally. He turned down several ride options for some unclear reason, and finally, they chose to walk home together. As they walked on a pedestrian bridge, they came across romantic writings expressing love. Oh-Sol sweetly gave Sol her homemade chocolates as a way of saying thanks. The next day, Sol's mom was surprised to find chocolates in her son's house. She knew Sol didn't like chocolates. Secretary Gwon thought about trying one, but Sol quickly grabbed them, treating them like they were very special. Meanwhile, Oh-Sol and her friends were cleaning an office. Oh-Sol was in charge of an office with important papers. She was working hard when a guy showed up and messed up the documents on purpose, getting Oh-Sol into trouble. Sol heard about the problem and rushed over. When he got there, he defended Oh-Sol, making sure she didn't do anything wrong. Secretary Gwon was confused because it didn't make sense for a CEO to keep defending an employee. Oh-Sol felt bad for getting Sol involved. When they checked the security camera, it looked like Oh-Sol was to blame. Secretary Gwon told Sol to follow the rules and fire Oh-Sol. But Sol refused because he didn't want to lose her. However, Oh-Sol decided to leave the company anyway. Oh-Sol felt really sad about her decision. She thought it was unfair and cried by herself. That's when Daniel came up to her. On the other hand, Oh-Dol got bad news about his dad getting into a fight with some tough guys. Oh-Dol got really mad and jumped into the fight, and the police took him to the station. His actions put his dream university at risk. Oh-Sol tried to help by talking to the guys and begging them not to press charges, but it didn't seem to work. Then, Secretary Gwon heard the news and made a deal with Oh-Sol. Meanwhile, Sol felt like his day was a mess. He decided to go home and take a break. But when he got there, he was surprised to find Oh-Sol inside. She introduced herself as a helper in Sol's house and said she would be staying there while working. Sol couldn't understand all the sudden changes in his life. He thought it would be a good idea to stay in a hotel. Sadly, he couldn't relax because he was worried about the hotel's cleanliness. He even brought his staff to clean it before his stay. But he got kicked out for breaking the rules. Sol decided to stay in his office for the night. But then, Oh-Sol came up to him and suggested he go back home. After thinking it over, Sol decided to take her advice. Surprisingly, he even allowed his mom to stay at his house for the first time. Oh-Sol being around seemed to change Sol's mood a bit. Even though he was at home, he couldn't sleep. When he tried to approach Oh-Sol, his mom came out to grab a drink. This startled Sol, so he hid and accidentally hugged Oh-Sol, waking her up. Sol signaled Oh-Sol to stay quiet until his mom left the room. Once his mom was gone, Sol brought a blanket for Oh-Sol because he knew the sofa wasn't too comfortable for her. The next day, Oh-Sol planned to cook dinner for Sol. However, instead of cooking, she made a big mess in the house. When Sol came home and saw the mess, he didn't get angry. Instead, he decided to eat with her. Oh-Sol felt bad watching Sol clean up all by himself because he didn't let her help. Oh-Sol remembered Secretary Gwon's advice about causing a bit of chaos to help Sol improve. Meanwhile, Sol felt guilty for scolding Oh-Sol the previous night. To make up for it, he bought her various bath and skincare products and a pair of rabbit-shaped house slippers that matched his own. This made Oh-Sol feel very happy and special to Sol. Later, Oh-Sol received a video call from her dad. She quickly found a private spot to answer it and showed her dad and Daniel from a distance. They asked how she was doing in Busan. Oh-Sol lied again, saying she was fine. Since she started working as an assistant in Sol's house, she had been lying to her family, telling them she was sent out of town by the company. But Daniel was suspicious and knew Oh-Sol was hiding something. At one point, Oh-Sol met with Sol's grandfather because Secretary Gwon asked her to. CEO Cha told Oh-Sol not to fall in love with his grandson and to just do her job. It was hard for her, but Oh-Sol followed his instructions. She didn't want CEO Cha to cancel the assistance he promised, which would put her brother in a tough spot because of his criminal record. Oh-Sol put aside her own feelings for her brother's sake. When Sol confessed his feelings, Oh-Sol firmly turned him down and said she wasn't interested. Sol promised he would make her change her mind and fall in love with him. The next day, Sol tried many things to get Oh-Sol's attention. He cooked breakfast so they could eat together, but Oh-Sol still felt awkward about the previous night. She couldn't even focus on eating. Suddenly, Soon Gol wiped some crumbs off Oh-Sol's face with his hand and helped her in different ways, which made Oh-Sol even more worried. Meanwhile, Daniel met with Secretary Gwon to find out where Oh-Sol was. He knew the story about Oh-Sol going to Busan was made up by Soon Gol's side. Finally, Gwon told Daniel where Oh-Sol was. She also offered to be Soon Gol's personal doctor to help him with his condition. Daniel wanted to rescue Oh-Sol from an unfair deal. He knew that CEO Cha was doing it for personal reasons. Not long after, Daniel came to Soon Gol's house and introduced himself as Ha-in, saying he would be Soon Gol's personal doctor. Soon Gol didn't want a personal doctor living with him, so he refused. But then, Oh-Sol hinted that Soon Gol might be a strange man who just wanted to live with her. Hearing that, Soon Gol agreed to let Ha-in stay. Later, Oh-Sol wanted to take out the trash, and Ha-in went with her. She asked him why he came to Soon Gol's house, but Ha-in asked why she lied about her job. Oh-Sol explained that she didn't want her brother to end up in the same tough situation as her. Ha-in tried to understand Oh-Sol's reasons and decided to help her with the mission to cure Soon Gol's condition. He also asked Oh-Sol to talk with him about how to counsel and help Soon Gol. On the other hand, Soon Gol wasn't happy about Ha-in being around. He complained to CEO Cha to stop Ha-in from becoming his personal doctor. But CEO Cha ignored Soon Gol's request. Meanwhile, Mei-hwa invited Soon Gol to Haewon's book launch. Soon Gol told Oh-Sol about the worst things that could happen if he went. But Oh-Sol didn't worry. She supported his decision to attend and follow his mother's request. Oh-Sol regretted it but had promised CEO Cha to do the job without having feelings for Soon Gol. The next day, Soon Gol said goodbye to Oh-Sol because he wanted to go to Haewon's book launch. Oh-Sol assured him she was okay with it and supported his choice. But after Soon Gol left, Oh-Sol had to hide her worries and jealousy. Soon Gol's real reason for visiting Haewon was to tell her kindly that he wasn't interested in her and that he liked someone else. He asked Haewon to stop pursuing him. However, his visit led to rumors that he was dating Haewon, and the news spread all over Seoul. Even Oh-Sol's friend asked her out for a drink to comfort her. Meanwhile, Ha-in did something similar. He took Oh-Sol shopping for lobster to beat his boredom. But they unexpectedly bumped into a fortune teller Ha-in knew. The fortune teller seemed suspicious because he recognized Oh-Sol. When they got back, they talked in the underground parking lot. Oh-Sol felt thankful that Ha-in was trying to help her with her sadness. But Soon Gol saw this and got even more frustrated. He couldn't hide his feelings anymore when he saw how close Oh-Sol and Ha-in were getting. So, he joined them to disrupt the moment. He didn't come to eat, he just wanted to make sure Oh-Sol didn't misunderstand the article that came out that day. Soon Gol explained to Oh-Sol that he had no romantic relationship with Haewon. Soon Gol confessed his feelings to Oh-Sol again, telling her that he only cared about her. The next day, Ha-in visited Soon Gol at his office. Soon Gol sensed that Ha-in had a hidden reason for coming. Ha-in revealed that they had a deal. Soon Gol would go through counseling to get better, and if he didn't improve, Ha-in would leave his house. Soon Gol agreed to these terms and committed to finishing the counseling. The counseling session started to help Soon Gol. Ha-in said that Soon Gol's condition had improved a bit. Soon Gol even allowed Oh-Sol to stay with him. After talking about Oh-Sol, Soon Gol asked Ha-in if he and Oh-Sol were just friends and if Ha-in wasn't trying to take her away from him. Hearing this, Soon Gol was very happy. He even acted a bit strangely around Oh-Sol, and they ended up drinking together until they ran out of alcohol. The next day, Oh-Sol felt a bit awkward around Soon Gol. But Soon Gol eased the tension by asking Oh-Sol to cook and have lunch together. During their time together, Soon Gol kept showing his love for Oh-Sol, thinking she felt the same way. However, Oh-Sol quickly explained that there was a misunderstanding. But Soon Gol wasn't ready to give up on winning Oh-Sol's heart. Oh-Sol then met with Ju-yeon to talk about the agreement she made with Soon Gol's grandfather. She didn't want to break the promise because she was worried it might negatively affect her brother Oh-Dol. Ju-yeon thought the agreement was unfair and encouraged Oh-Sol to be honest about her feelings, knowing that her friend also had feelings for Soon Gol. Meanwhile, Ha-in invited Oh-Sol to watch a TV program about underwater scenes. Oh-Sol said she wished to see it in person. Right away, Soon Gol invited Oh-Sol to visit an underwater aquarium in Seoul. However, their time together was interrupted by Oh-Sol's three friends. Soon Gol took Oh-Sol away, but their efforts were in vain when Jae-min spotted Oh-Sol. After making sure they were safe from Jae-min and his friends, Oh-Sol suggested they go for a walk. They saw a school of fish swimming together, and Soon Gol asked Oh-Sol to stay with him, believing he could face anything as long as she was there. The next day, Oh-Sol met her 3 friends for a soju drinking session. They chatted and caught up since they hadn't seen Oh-Sol in a while. Suddenly, Dong-Yoon got a call that his grandmother was very sick. They rushed to the hospital, and there, Oh-Sol saw Soon Gol, who couldn't hide his concern. Oh-Sol learned that Soon Gol was helping with Dong-Yoon's grandmother's medical expenses. He was the only one willing to give Dong-Yoon a job at his company despite his criminal background. Oh-Sol's heart melted when she saw how sincere Soon Gol was in helping his friend. They went back home together, and to their surprise, Mei-hwa arrived with a bunch of photos to show her son. Mei-hwa wanted Soon Gol to start dating, but he kept refusing. He wanted his mother to stop her matchmaking efforts. He introduced Oh-Sol as the person he liked. Mei-hwa was shocked by her son's confession, especially when Soon Gol explained that his feelings were one-sided. The next day, Mei-hwa invited Oh-Sol out for a meal. She asked why Oh-Sol didn't like her son, Soon Gol, even though he had everything. Oh-Sol honestly admitted that their social statuses were very different, and she felt unworthy of dating Soon Gol. Hearing this, Mei-hwa suspected her father was behind Soon Gol's unsuccessful love life. She confronted CEO Cha and expressed her anger at her father's interference in Soon Gol's life. Mei-hwa then planned a shock therapy to help Soon Gol overcome his phobia. However, the therapy caused Soon Gol to faint due to the overwhelming number of people in his house. He couldn't find Oh-Sol, who had been his source of strength. Oh-Sol started looking for Soon Gol when she heard he wasn't feeling well. She got angry at the chaos in the house and kicked everyone out. When she saw Soon Gol lying weak on his bed, Oh-Sol felt sad and decided to take care of him for the night. Ha-in, who saw this, felt sorry and gave her a blanket to ensure she could sleep comfortably. When Soon Gol woke up, he didn't find Oh-Sol by his side. He hurriedly left the room and started searching for her. But Oh-Sol was busy with something else. Soon Gol felt relieved when he realized she was still in his house. From then on, he kept asking Oh-Sol not to leave him alone in any situation. He couldn't stand being away from her. Meanwhile, Ha-in met with Secretary Gwon to discuss the accident that took Oh-Sol's mother's life. Gwon was concerned because if the truth came out, it would hurt both Soon Gol and Oh-Sol. She didn't want to see them heartbroken after all they had been through. Oh-Sol wanted to visit the place where her mother's ashes were kept. Soon Gol insisted on going with her because he didn't want to be apart from her. During the journey, Soon Gol's condition made him anxious in crowded places, but he still felt happy because he was trying new things with Oh-Sol. When they arrived, Oh-Sol proudly introduced Soon Gol as her boyfriend and talked about the challenges they had overcome together. Oh-Sol was torn between not wanting to hurt her brother, Oh-Dol, and not wanting to ignore her own feelings. The next day, Oh-Sol decided to meet with Secretary Gwon and resign from her job. She wanted to end everything and enjoy life as Soon Gol's girlfriend. But Oh-Sol knew the consequences she might face. Gwon discovered that CEO Cha had made an agreement with Oh-Sol not to date, so she went to see CEO Cha and begged him not to stand in the way of their relationship. However, the issue with the AG group, which CEO Cha had founded, would still be a challenge for both of them. After deciding to resign, Oh-Sol left Soon Gol's house. Ha-in was glad she had made the right choice. Oh-Sol continued to fight for her younger brother, who was in trouble for beating up a thug some time ago. She decided to distribute a petition to seek justice for her brother, but it was too difficult to do alone. Eventually, Soon Gol brought his employees to help Oh-Sol distribute the petition. Oh-Sol felt lucky to be surrounded by kind people willing to help her. After handing out the flyers, Oh-Sol received news that the CCTV footage capturing her brother's incident had been found. It turned out that Ha-in had sought Secretary Gwon's help to obtain the CCTV recording. Oh-Sol then brought Soon Gol along to go home together and confirm this happy news. Upon reaching there, Oh-Sol's father questioned Soon Gol about his relationship with his daughter. Without wasting any time, Soon Gol asked Oh-Sol's father for permission to date and take care of his daughter. Hearing this, Oh-Sol's father felt relieved because his daughter was now with a responsible man like Soon Gol. The next day, Oh-Dol saw Ju-yeon on a blind date and felt jealous whenever she met someone new. Oh-Dol asked her to stop looking for a partner and date him after he won a gold medal in the Olympics. A few days later, Oh-Sol met with Mei-hwa to tell her that she had decided to resign and date Soon Gol. Mei-hwa was delighted to hear this news. She was finally happy to see her son with someone. After meeting with Mei-hwa, Oh-Sol went to the office to see her boyfriend. They wanted to share the happy news with Oh-Sol's 3 friends. Oh-Sol felt thrilled because she could now date openly without hiding. After leaving the office, Oh-Sol invited Soon Gol to have dinner at his house. They watched a movie, had a meal together, and Oh-Sol ended up spending the night. The next morning, Oh-sol received a message from Oh-dol saying their father was angry because she didn't come home all night. She went home and made an excuse that she stayed at Ju-yeon's house. Oh-dol suspected she was lying and called Ju-yeon to check. Luckily, Ju-yeon's response saved Oh-sol from her brother and father's anger. Meanwhile, Hein went to the hospital because he got a job offer there. However, he declined the offer, feeling unprepared. After finishing his business, Hein saw CEO Cha arriving at the hospital with his bodyguards. Elsewhere, Soon Gol saw Oh-sol at the playground playing with a little child. It reminded him of his own childhood when a mischievous girl used to prank him. Oh-sol felt like she knew the story because she had a similar experience. She suspected that the boy she used to tease was actually Soon Gol. It turned out they had a connection from childhood with their unique personalities. Their relationship became even happier, and Oh-sol started adopting some of Soon Gol's cleanliness habits. She began cleaning her room and surprised everyone with her new habit. After tidying up the house, Hein invited Oh-sol to relax in his room. While she waited for Hein to make coffee, Oh-sol noticed several receipts for flower purchases at her mother's resting place. This made her curious, and she asked Hein about the meaning behind these receipts. Oh-sol returned home and asked her father about the flower receipts, but he avoided the question and said he hadn't visited her mother's grave yet. Oh-sol's suspicion of Hein grew stronger because she felt he was hiding something. Meanwhile, Soon Gol fulfilled Oh-sol's wish for a cinema date. He organized it with 3 employees who disguised themselves as workers. Oh-sol noticed the unusual emptiness of the cinema on a weekend but went along with Soon Gol's plan. She knew her boyfriend was trying to make her happy. The following day, Soon Gol invited Hein to the office to discuss his progress. He felt bad that Oh-sol couldn't have a normal date because of his condition. Oh-sol also wanted to make changes in her life. She aimed to find her passion and work in a way that suited her skills. Her father was happy with her decision to follow her dreams. Meanwhile, Secretary Gwon approached CEO Cha and seemed to want to resign. She didn't want to be part of decisions that made Soon Gol sad. However, CEO Cha was still determined to harm Oh-dol's career. While Oh-sol was studying at the library, Soon Gol surprised her to boost her spirits. He had set up a bunch of decorated balloons in front of the library. Meanwhile, Hein met with Secretary Gwon to thank her for getting the CCTV footage for Oh-dol's case. He also asked about her connection with CEO Cha. Gwon saw Soon Gol as her own child because she had a child with the same condition. She wanted to ensure Soon Gol's happiness but had been misled by CEO Cha, who cared only about himself. After meeting with Secretary Gwon, Hein confronted CEO Cha. He urged him to stop tormenting Oh-sol's family and reminded him that his actions had indirectly caused Oh-sol's mother's death. Despite the warning, CEO Cha remained unafraid and continued his efforts to harm Oh-dol. During this time, Oh-dol and his father realized that CEO Cha, the head of the AG Group company, was behind all their troubles. Oh-dol's father claimed that Soon Gol's family was responsible for his mother's death. This revelation left everyone, including Oh-sol, feeling angry and betrayed. Oh-sol decided to end her relationship with Soon Gol. After their breakup, Soon Gol had a hard time finding Oh-sol. His worry affected his work, and he eventually asked Hein for help to check on Oh-sol's well-being. While talking to Hein, Soon Gol saw Oh-sol from a distance. He tried to get her attention to talk and fix their relationship, but Oh-sol continued to reject him, sticking to her decision to separate. Soon Gol was still confused by Oh-sol's change in attitude. He decided to go back to the office but saw a commotion outside the building. Oh-sol's younger brother was trying to enter to meet CEO Cha. It turned out that Oh-dol wanted Soon Gol's help to meet with CEO Cha. After learning that Oh-sol's mother had been a victim of the AG Group project 6 years ago, Soon Gol confronted CEO Cha. He was angry and disappointed because his grandfather had caused suffering to Oh-sol's family. However, CEO Cha remained indifferent and ignored Soon Gol's words. As the days passed, Soon Gol missed Oh-sol more and more. He could only watch her from a distance and even followed her on her way home. To ensure her safety, he repaired streetlights. Soon Gol's illness seemed to get worse after their separation. He became more obsessed with cleanliness, hurting his hands from excessive washing. Hein tried to offer counseling, but Soon Gol rejected him and kicked him out of the house. Soon Gol lost his motivation to recover from his illness. Seeing her son's deteriorating condition, Mei-hwa met with Oh-sol and persuaded her to meet Soon Gol. During this encounter, she ran into Hein, who had just left Soon Gol's house. Oh-sol asked him about Soon Gol, but Hein's response didn't completely ease her concerns. The next day, CEO Cha came to the office to meet his grandson, hoping to pass the AG Group company to Soon Gol. However, Soon Gol refused because he didn't want to be part of the questionable business that had caused problems with Oh-Sol. He discovered that his own grandfather was the major contributor to his company, leaving him feeling betrayed by someone so close. Overwhelmed by emotions, Soon Gol decided to leave, but this decision led to a tragic accident, putting him in a coma for a week. Oh-Sol blamed herself for his condition and begged him to wake up, fearing she might lose the men she loved. It was a difficult and lengthy struggle at the hospital to stay by Soon Gol's side. Oh-Sol even had to confront CEO Cha, who tried to keep her from seeing his grandson. Oh-Sol's life had been quite gloomy for a whole week, but then she received wonderful news that Soon Gol had finally woken up. As soon as Soon Gol regained consciousness, he eagerly looked for Oh-Sol. Meiwa informed him that Oh-Sol had been taking care of him while he was in a coma. Soon Gol couldn't wait to see her, but unfortunately, she was not there at that moment. Nevertheless, he was immensely relieved to know that Oh-Sol was in good health. He apologized for his family's mistakes and expressed his gratitude for having Oh-Sol in his life. Not long after, Soon Gol decided to step down as CEO. He planned to go to America, following his grandfather's wishes. Soon Gol said goodbye to his 3 loyal employees who had always supported him. He asked Oh-Sol about the meaning of the sticker she had given him, and she explained that it symbolized a second chance. Pretending to meet Ha-in, Soon Gol actually visited Oh-Sol's house to give her a necklace. He missed their time together but had to leave for America to continue his life. Meanwhile, CEO Cha went to Oh-Sol's house to apologize. He realized he was responsible for the tragedy that affected Oh-Sol's family. Oh-Sol also understood that Soon Gol was not to blame. She wanted to follow him to the airport but couldn't find him, he had already left. To express his remorse, CEO Cha held a press conference to explain the tragedy and promised to donate all his assets. Around the same time, Oh-Sol visited her mother's grave and met her 3 friends there. They had been sent by Soon Gol to tend to the site. She felt selfish for always blaming Soon Gol. 2 years later, Soon Gol returned to Seoul in much better health. His illness was cured, and he was free from his obsession with cleanliness. On his way home, he saw Oh-Sol, who had just finished work. Oh-Sol's life had changed too. She now worked for a sports company and was living according to her family's wishes. Soon Gol stopped his car and approached Oh-Sol. He was full of regret for everything that had happened and gave her the sticker he had cherished, asking for another chance to fix their relationship. His return made his mother happy, and she now fully supported his relationship with Oh-Sol, even considering taking it to a more serious level. Soon Gol had also forgiven his grandfather after hearing that CEO Cha had apologized and donated all his assets. Soon Gol remained determined. He resumed his efforts to win Oh-Sol's heart, going to great lengths like cleaning the windows of her office, which resulted in him falling. When Oh-Sol saw the incident, she rushed to his side. As they shared a meal together once again, Soon Gol tried to win Oh-Sol over, but she rejected him again. Oh-Sol didn't want to continue their relationship because she was afraid of hurting her family by being involved with someone indirectly responsible for her mother's death. However, Soon Gol didn't give up and kept expressing his feelings to Oh-Sol. Meanwhile, Oh-Dol was working hard on his taekwondo skills. He trained until he successfully made it to the national team as a representative of their country. Oh-Sol's father was proud of his son's achievement, but his happiness faded when he saw Soon Gol there. Soon Gol persisted in seeking forgiveness from Oh-Sol's family, even though his presence was unwelcome. After drinking soju with Oh-Sol and her co-workers, he got drunk and revealed the pain he had endured for the past 2 years, unable to forget Oh-Sol. While Soon Gol was asleep, Oh-Sol began to express her feelings, confessing that she missed him deeply. However, she didn't want to be selfish and hurt her family. Soon Gol thanked her for helping him recover from his illness during his time in America. Their relationship grew closer, and they let go of any lingering grudges. Soon Gol invited his 4 employees to share a meal and talked to them about his plans to start a new company. The employees agreed to join him in rebuilding his business from the ground up. On the other hand, Oh-Sol's father slowly began to appreciate Soon Gol's efforts and saw the sincerity in his character. They even shared a drink together without any lingering resentment. Now, Oh-Sol's father approved of his daughter's relationship with Soon Gol. After visiting his late wife's ashes, Oh-Sol's father encouraged his daughter to meet with Soon Gol. He understood that she still had feelings for him and gave his blessing, hoping to end her 2 years of suffering. Upon hearing this, Oh-Sol immediately approached Soon Gol and invited him to start anew. Their relationship improved, as their feelings for each other remained strong and unchanging. So the moral of the story is even if you're super clean and organized, life can still get messy and unpredictable, especially when love and feelings are involved. Sometimes, you just have to embrace the chaos and go with the flow.